So today I will be testing out a couple bug fixes that I made that should work. Last time there was an issue when running the game in the pure TTY, so I'm going to test that out and give some updates about what I worked on this week. And I also was playing around with the new Twitter image generation, so I'll talk a bit about that. So if you're looking at the screen here, you can see that I made a change, just a local change, to update iron oxide blocks so that instead of being a red square, they appear as an O. And the reason for that will become apparent if let's quit the game and let's go on to the TTY. Oh no, is it still locking up again? This was I was able to reproduce this bug on my other computer, and I tested it, and the fix worked. There was actually a race condition with my terminal character width calculation code, but maybe it's still broken. Huh. All right then. Let me try it again a couple times in case it comes out of the race condition. Nope, so that's still broken. But I guess I can still test a couple things to see if that broke anything new. So this week I worked mostly on new video. That will be probably coming out this week. I rendered it today, and I just finished it like just before I had dinner, and I looked at it and realized I messed up something. I changed the resolution on it, and then it completely broke. It went up. Some of the keyframes didn't change, so there's a couple scenes in it where the picture is like squished into the corner. So I'll have to re-render that, and it's going to be a core utils tier list video. That was one. A couple of people requested that, and I think it's a good idea. So. And so that will close off core utils for real, because I think I've basically exhausted all of the everything I can do about core utils. And also looked into more strategies for like how to make the database more performant on this thing. And I don't know, I'm kind of stuck for ideas. Like the only things I can think of are actually splitting up the table into like multiple smaller tables, but that kind of defeats one of the main requirements that I wanted to have, is just to keep it simple. Because if I have to split up the table into thousands of separate tables for different regions, then it just adds so much complexity and stuff. And it'd be nice if the database would just do that, would just solve that problem. Because that's the whole point of databases. It's you can put things in a table, and then you run queries, and then the database figures out how to get things as fast as possible. So have any of you played around with or seen the new image generation stuff from Grok on Twitter or on x.com? So this here is what wood looks like today. I just replaced it with a W character. Looks like the viewership is a bit lower tonight. Maybe I'll do an experiment. As I know you have to talk. You have to talk in order to get people to stay on the stream. But as an experiment, I'll just try. I'll just not say anything for a while, just space out, and see if the views continue to stay low. Hello, Mr. Robert Elder. What's that icon? One of those is a hand. I guess it's like a person. It kind of looks like a whale or something. I'm doing good. I spent the better part of this week on a new video that'll be out hopefully this week. I think it's basically done now. That's a core utils tier list, so that way I can completely finish off core utils. I've mined everything there is to mine, all the content that you can get out of core utils. Interesting. So that bug I fixed, that I thought I fixed, I guess, was I added these locks around this. I concluded it was like a race condition with this variable, but maybe, I guess, it must not be that. Yeah, someone requested a core utils tier list explicitly, and I had actually thought it was kind of independently thought that was a good idea. It's going to be it's going to be a 27-minute video. It was, I was putting out way more content when I was doing the one video a day thing, but the quality and length wasn't as good. But this will be it was like editing it. It started off with like six hours of just me standing in front of the whiteboard to just get it edited down to the 27 minutes. And I think it's a pretty dense video. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It seems like I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those ones that just does pretty well and trends up. People will probably complain that it's too fast paced, but we'll see, I guess. Let's just do this, see if that changes anything. yeah, this you could do a lot. You could do a whole series of tier list videos. Core utils is like it's such a dense topic. Like to be able to pick. So I evaluated all 108 core utils commands and like pick them out of hat, and then just talk about them for a bit until like. It's the kind of video where I'm sure like in 6 months when I watch the video, I will relearn things from the video, even though I made it. So it's like, it's all fresh in my memory right now, so I can recite it, off the top of my head. But eventually I'll forget all that knowledge. And, for init systems and stuff like that, you could, file systems. I could try to talk with them, but I haven't. I'd have to do a lot of research, and that's really like there's kind of no point in doing a video unless you've done all the background research and it's like fresh in your mind. I mean, I guess a lot of people do that, but it doesn't produce the best quality content. Nope, I'll have to. I guess. Actually, you know what? I can check the logs. So we're deadlocked. Hey Carla, how's it going? I'm actually trying to fix the bug of the pure TTY. I thought I had fixed it. It was I tested it on my other computer and it was like, oh, it's a race condition, so I put a lock around something, and then I'm just testing it now, and it's apparently it's not fixed. right, where is the log file? Yeah, I have decent logs. Let me. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's a key piece of this should never happen. So that means there's something in my I guess state machine where it's able to get into that situation where it doesn't have a it thinks there's no active request, so it just discards that, and then because the result doesn't come back, it blocks. All right, now I'll have to look into that a bit more detail. Let's see. So, oh, my viewers just jumped up. So let's use that opportunity to check out some of the other interesting stuff that I worked on this week. So, have any of you guys checked out? Let's open this up. Have any of you guys checked out the Grok, the new image, or at least the image generation feature of Grok? I thought that was pretty. I mean, the results are pretty wild. Like, and if you want to see, I never plug my my Twitter account, so this is a opportunity. Not yet, but it's pretty liberal. Yeah, who is it? The physicist Sabine I can't remember her last name. Sabine, the physicist. She has a YouTube channel. She did a video on like are the AI models biased, and apparently according to something she reviewed, that they're basically all liberal leaning. I have no opinion on that either way, but it is what it is. So for balance, so I got Trump here, but for balance, to be nonpartisan, we've also got Kamala here. So I enjoyed. I just took the exact same prompt, and I forget the exact prompt. It's something like generate a picture of Donald Trump looking at like a Unix terminal. With I think I said something about like I dictated what I wanted on the screen, and there's a few prompts where I actually asked it specifically like put something on the screen that's like illustrating them using like the ln command or something, or like some specific thing, and it has never followed that directive. It always just has like some gibberish that you can't. That was not high enough resolution, but. Like this one here, if you zoom in, it's just like hieroglyphics, like it's not even real characters. And in almost every case, when I ask it for a terminal, it seems to just draw like a web development IDE, not really I don't even think it's really a terminal, but some trends and stuff like that. But anyway, the point was, AI image generation is getting pretty crazy, but I mean, this stuff, like the art style is, like I asked it to, Flux is pretty good with text. Yeah, apparently this actually is Flux, because Grok uses Flux under the hood or something. I've wanted to get into this and try using it, because people have been talking about how crazy AI image generation is, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I can see these samples. You see samples and stuff floating around, but until you actually because they cherry pick the demos and stuff, you don't know how much they've kind of faked it and massaged it, but the fact that this is accessible to me as a user, and I'm not, I guess I have to the Twitter subscription, but the fact that I can get access to this without paying a lot of money is pretty amazing. Let's see, I missed one. I use exclusive free GPT. I think it's Mini 4 or something. Writes my sed commands. Interesting. Yeah, I tried out some of the initial AI tools, and then I kind of I got away from it, just because it's it was it gets you 90% of the way there, but you still have to massage it. I decided, you know what, I'll just keep doing things manual. But of course, I'm gonna have to keep plugging back into what's the state of the art on this AI generation of all sorts. And I mean, for even just for idea generation, or general content generation, these I'm kind of starting to get addicted to this, because what was it, Midjourney or whatever other image generation tools, you had to sign up for them. You had to sign up in a closed beta or something, and every time I would try to go to sign up for them, it was you have to sign up for extra things, or you have to I find it if it's super expensive, or it's always a closed beta or something. But the fact that this is it's so easily accessible for image generation now, because I don't think ChatGPT has image generation, at least not that I know of. But I'm sure now that this is out, it's gonna, all those closed betas are gonna be over, and now it's available for public use. I mean, the aesthetic of this is this is exactly what I had in mind, and the quality of it is just it's really, really good. Use ChatGPT and code Llama 70B for a variety of coding and terminal stuff. It's helpful to a point. no images in GPT. Yeah, I mean, eventually all these things are going to be kind of integrated together. Okay, so those are the first two. And if you and to plug my Twitter account, which I think is probably in the description somewhere, if you want to see the original the prompts that I gave, so there's those two, and then oh yeah, this is one of the other ones. So this one was I asked for an image of Elon Musk using a butter knife to dice a silicon wafer, and Grimes is like yelling at him because he did it wrong so many times. It didn't quite capture that. Like, this is not a it's not really a butter knife here, but it's still I mean, like the aesthetic of this is just, it's really cool. I mean, it looks like a movie. So for idea generation, this is just stuff is amazing. And but I had a bit of a hard time with this one because it kept generating images, and Elon Musk didn't look like Elon Musk at all. It looked like a totally different person. And I don't know if that resembles Grimes that much, but I don't remember what she looks like from memory. Oh, and as for one of Xi Jinping looking at like a kid writing some Linux commands, for this one I asked it to put on the screen the ln, an obvious use of the ln command, but of course, like I said, it always just gives you like generic web development stuff. And I mean, it's a nice photo. This one is I asked for Taylor Swift in front of I think also I asked for her in front of a Linux prompt, and I specifically asked for like super really red lipstick, and I mean, it delivered. It's a super nice photo, and I asked for the background to have like U.S. Marines moving around materiel, but I mean, it looks like it's probably, you know, some U.S. military people, but they're not moving around. They're not moving stuff around. Cyber Commander Taylor Swift. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I mean, I probably have to think about like you know, copyright and licensing. I don't know if this will make this video get copyright stricken. So this one is I asked for Joe Biden rummaging around trying to plug in a power cord. It's good results. I still get classical artifacts like missing items or unrealistic hands. Oh no, Joe! No, he's trying to plug in the power cable. That's the theme of this one. I just thought that we, you know, just come up with some images that are related to you know, computers and Linux tangentially, and I thought this was kind of a challenge because I had to change the prompt for this one because I kept asking for this, and I kept saying like one of Joe Biden trying to plug in the power, Joe Biden under his desk trying to plug in the power cable, and it kept just giving like stock images of him like in front of a computer, but I had to you know, work hard to persuade it to do something like under the desk, and I guess this is where it shows. You know, it shows that it's not really like it's got a laptop here, but like what is this? There's no actual like screen to the laptop, and then there's a power cable here, but it goes into here, but it's like confusing this with the keyboard, and then the actual, you know, power cable changes from black to white randomly, and this is only available to Twitter Premium, right? I'm not sure. So I have Twitter Blue, I think. I don't know what the categories are called. Like, I know there's a bunch of different tiers of Twitter. There's I pay like $120 a year, so it's like the $12 a month plan. But I think there's another plan that's like $1,000 a year where you can post jobs and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know I don't know if they changed the names of them. But I also eventually I hit a threshold where it said like you've generated 50 images in 2 hours, and that's your limit. So you're gonna get shut off for a while. Anyway, I mean that's that's not the greatest generation, but it's like it's kind of getting the hands and stuff pretty good. For this one, I asked for generate an image of generate the image of a face of someone who is likely to use Linux, and this is there's a few other results that I generated a few times, and it did generate some more like stereotypical Linux users, but this was just the first one. So in the sake of honesty, I just put this one out. But there's a bunch of variety. It doesn't always generate the same one. For this one, I asked for like an Instagram model in a military outfit in front of a Linux command prompt, and it's got. I mean, it delivered. It's like there's nothing I can complain about that other than like this. It always gets the stuff on the monitor wrong. Like it's just gibberish. This one I didn't publish this one. This is the first iteration of one. If you look at the other, there's another. I think it's this one. So that's the one that I published, and then this was the first iteration of that. And I thought this one looks a bit like too much like a stock photo. It's not like the super brilliant, bright solar punk aesthetic, but so then I went with this one. But it's like all I have to do is type some stuff. It's like a paragraph, and it just I mean this is an amazing piece of art, but who knows, it's probably like some of it's probably like a collage of like stolen stuff, but who knows. I mean, it's the results speak for itself. I wrote up the prompt, and I had this image without too much effort, and it's got there's a lot of very specific stuff in here. So it's very impressive to me. Instagram Model 1, the taskbar looks like Windows Vista. Oh yeah, it kind of does look like a... Yeah, there's a couple where I asked it to do like a Linux terminal, but it gave me a Mac. I guess you can have Mac, or you can have Linux on some versions of Mac, but anyway, do you guys know? I don't know if any of you have like the non Twitter Blue. Is this not available to? So if you're not paying for Twitter, is this available to you, or is it only for whatever I have Twitter Blue? Oh yeah, this one makes me laugh every time I look at it. I asked for Justin Trudeau looking at. At first, I asked for Justin Trudeau looking nervous at his computer with the blue screen of death, and I tried that prompt, and it refused to generate something. So I think the word death made it in blue screen of death made it think there was something wrong with it. So I changed that to like a blue error screen or something. But of course, what it gave me was it's like the desktop, but then it just gave me some like code or something on it. And then I asked it to put a beaver underneath of the computer chewing on an Ethernet cable. And the first generation I did, it really did have a very convincing beaver like chewing on an Ethernet cable. But but the in that one, the actual screen didn't look very good. So then I regenerated it a couple times, and that was the one that I settled on. But it's just a fantastic photo. I mean, it's the fact that AI can generate this in like a fraction of a second, or a couple seconds, is amazing. Tells me to subscribe when I go to the Grok tab in the Android app. Okay. Emotional support beaver. Yeah. The next one, I for balance, I tried one with Pierre Polyev. So he had that famous scene where he was eating an apple. So I thought like, oh, I'll do Pierre Polyev eating an apple in an apple orchard, and there's like overflowing apples everywhere, and he's at an Apple computer, like the command prompt. And so I kept asking for Pierre Polyev, and then eventually I even rechanged it to the leader of the Canadian Conservative Party, Pierre Polyev, because it kept generating like, this doesn't, I mean, to me this doesn't look at all like him, and it kept generating random people that did not look at all like him. And so I don't know what's up there. I would have figured there's enough images of him, like he's a public figure, but anyway, it will not generate images of him. I tried like 10 of them. I think that one I didn't publish. That was one of and yeah, this is the one I did publish. So there's just another iteration, and again, this one, it doesn't look at all like him, but the image overall looks, pretty. It's a nice image. The computer, I don't know if the lighting, it kind of looks a bit out of place, almost like it's photoshopped in or something. Yeah, and then we're back to the start. So that was my my tangent of image generation. So I'm gonna play around with that more in the future. Like it's I don't know, it's just so fun to like think of a random idea and see what the AI will generate. So now I have to hope. That's another reason I haven't done stuff with AI. Is because I don't want to get like, I don't want to get don't want to fall out of favor with the algorithm, because I know the algorithm is going to, because like technically now, I have to say this video contains AI generated content, and then I know there's a couple channels that were doing I think it was some of the early ones about like Donald Trump doing silly stuff. That once the AI generated videos were trending really hard on YouTube for a while, and then they changed something in the algorithm so that as soon as they identify that it's got AI in it, it just gets like massively downweighted, which makes sense, because if they don't do that, the platform's going to be overrun with AI content. But now if you have like a little tiny piece of AI in something you do, they might like shadow ban you. I need an AI to generate better prompts. Not creative enough to make it good with the first prompt. I mean, they have that now. You can to a limited extent, I guess. You just got to start with like a wacky idea, and then keep iterating on it. Yeah, I mean, that's good enough that like I could actually see myself using some of that content just for like if you need a really quick like a YouTube like a profile photo, or what do you call it, like a banner photo for your channel. Like you could easily generate something that's, I mean, thinking of it now, like I paid a graphic designer the like background banner cover photo, that's what you call it, cover photo for my YouTube channel. I paid a graphic designer to make that, and it's like, she manually had to like Photoshop things around, and add transparency and stuff, and it was, I think I might have paid like a few $100 or something for it, because it's a few hours of work to make that. But now with AI, like, even though people might be able to tell it's AI generated, it's still like, it's good enough. And if I can save that money, I could put that money toward something else, or even I could pay an artist to like do it. I could pay an artist to make like 10 of those from scratch using the AI art tool. And I think it also helps to like the concept of prompt engineering. If you're someone who knows about photography, and you know about like like some of the keywords, I think it kind of ignores some of them to some extent, but like saying that you want like to be able to imagine a shot of something, and to be able to say I want something with a photograph taken with a wide aperture, or to say something that's a telephoto type of image, or knowing about certain types of art styles and stuff. That's like a whole thing in itself. Does your game have win multiplayer? I would basically no. So I do have like I do have a multiplayer client, but it's basically just kind of almost like a placeholder, so that I can kind of build up multiplayer easily, because having like a local single player client and having the code for that like integrated together and generic enough so that you can easily refactor it into a multiplayer. So I like split those off early. In fact, I actually implemented multiplayer before I implemented single player. And I've just kind of kept the multiplayer client updated. But all it does right now, it basically just, it's a thing so you can connect to the server, and there's no authentication or anything. So you just connect right to that port and you start sending messages. And so you could technically have unlimited players right now, but there's no conflict resolution. So all the players could like write to the same block, and then it's a race condition, and whoever writes to that block would win. So it needs a lot of work to be like a real thing, but I have it as a local thing, and I keep it up to date when I make refactoring changes. Yeah, this won't be a super interesting stream. Just it's mainly just to keep up my earlier commitment to do it. I'll try to do a stream on Saturdays and maybe Tuesdays as much as I can for next little while, to advertise my Kickstarter. I feel bad that on my last stream I said I would live stream until I got a new Kickstarter pledge, and then I chickened out and I quit before. I figured I'd get, did maybe like 2.5 hours. I figured I'd get at least one during that time, but I could have kept going, but just getting like tired and mumbling about nothing in particular. It's just, I don't really think it's productive. I gotta plan out some more content because I had a little bit today with the playing around with Grok. I have a to-do list of things to work on. So maybe by next stream I can have some tests to go through. I made some improvements to support command line, better support for command line arguments. I need that because I want to be able to disable J and I, or they have a flag so that you can disable J and I in case it crashes. And let's see. Yeah. Now that J and I, that was a lot of work to get J and I working and get that signal window change event. Be able to listen to that, and then I have to actually implement using it. So that'll be another exciting thing to test, changing the window size. And then another thing I want to implement, it was kind of an original premise of the game was I want to make it so the game has like a block manifest file, and I want to make it so that it is possible to if the game doesn't recognize a certain block type, then you can still the game will work with whatever block types it actually recognizes, and there can be like a kind of wild card. I'll probably make it like a thing you can disable. So as another command line argument, so you can support unrecognized block types. So when you come into the game, it'll maybe just show us an error, maybe like one of those crossed out emojis or something. So that's something to implement. And then, oh yeah, the main thing was the help menu, of course. I need to do some refactoring changes that can actually make it possible to implement a help menu. And hopefully some of those changes will also, it'll fix some of the user interface lag, at least when you have a lot of stuff on the screen at once. It won't fix anything with the database lag. Oh, I saw some hearts going up. It always does that. I don't know what that means. If I got like one heart, that would make sense. That must be a bot or something. I don't know. Well, I guess you guys can see that on the stream. See on the chat. It's like it was like spamming up a bunch of hearts. I was just spamming it. Okay. So what exactly are you doing when you do that? You click something over and over again, or do you like hard and then unhard it? I've noticed sometimes in my analytics, it'll say like it has a graph of the number of chats per second, and then it'll be like, a few chats per minute, and then all of a sudden it'll jump up to like 300 chats per minute, and I don't know what that is. It must be like a bot, but I don't see any of those. Tap the heart to open a menu, then tap an emoji over and over. Okay. I guess that's they must be trying to copy Twitch, because I guess you can do that in Twitch, but it's a slightly different thing where you spam emojis, but it fills up the chat. So that must be the same idea. Yeah, I wonder what the future of streaming is, because I mean, it seems like there is demand for it. It's like a bizarre way of interacting with people and with content. But I know Twitch is financially kind of in trouble. They've been in trouble for a long time, but now that we're like recovering from COVID, it's I think in the past people thought like it's going to get bigger than it has, and now that we're coming off the sugar high of the money printing and all that stuff, getting back to work, we may see a bunch of streaming platforms like shut down or scale back, or I think mobile devices are all going to be part of one or more. MDMs. What's that stand for? Well, mobile device management. That's some sort of like centralized control thing. Endpoint management software. I mean, to some extent, phones already are controlled. Like, there's a lot of stuff that runs on your phone that you basically have no control over, like any of the software that talks to like cell towers and stuff like that. I guess honestly, I don't really use my mobile device all that much. I kind of never really got into apps at all. I don't use them. What's this? This is my terminal-based block mining simulation game. It's a terminal-based game where you simulate the process of mining blocks. So you move around and you just spam the M key and you mine blocks. And right now it's lagging quite a bit because I got some performance issues. I can press WASD keys to move around. I can go up. And the W there, that's a piece of wood. I did have an emoji character for that, but I'm testing something else at the moment. Did you have to move, Robert, or did you get the whole renovation thing sorted? You here to hear an update? Hope it worked out. So the status of the renovation is still ongoing. They've given in their team notices to almost, it's at least like 60, maybe 70 residents in the building. And the whole thing's been really stressful on residents. A lot of residents, I guess I shouldn't say a lot, but a bunch of, I know a number of people who just gave up and moved out. And some people like negotiated, and there's all sorts of different deals and all kinds of drama. So the date that they gave me on my N13 was August 31st. And so what is likely going to happen on August 31st is the sheriff will not be coming to like force me to get evicted, but what will happen is they will give me a they'll just put a rent check, or put a check through my door for $3,000, because that's the maximum that they legally have to give me. It's 3 months rent, and the expectation is if I cash that, then that's like a contract that I have agreed to move out, and so then they would be able to push faster with eviction. Now if I just keep that and don't cash it, then they have to apply to the landlord-tenant board, and they have to go through the official, they have to request a hearing. So then I think they will file an L2, and that means I'll have to go before the landlord-tenant board and have a hearing, and then I can plead my case to say I do not think that the renovations they have stated they have stated that they want to do, I don't think those renovations are necessary, and I guess based on evidence and permits, and I really don't like. Realistically, the renovations they want to do are not necessary. It's just they're just saying that because it's just an excuse to get people out. But I actually have no idea if the tenant board would, how they would like rule on that. But I think to get a hearing at the landlord tenant board takes like multiple months. Like I've heard before, it could take like 8 months or something, because tenant board cases are prioritized based on like how urgent it is. So I think if you're not paying rent, if you stop paying rent, then it's a lot faster to get a hearing, but it can be like up to 8 months to get a hearing. So that just buys me another 8 months or so. Sorry to hear. Still dealing with it. Hope the tenant board sides with you. Yeah, it's we'll see what happens. I mean, Ontario, being up here in Ontario is like, the reason I moved here, the reason I moved to Ontario, kind of don't really exist anymore. So, I'll move back into mom's basement for a bit, and kind of recalibrate. I mean, the world is collapsing, so like there's kind of, I'm here because I'm already here. But then if I could move somewhere else, I don't really know where I would go. Like there's lots of people saying like, oh, I'm fed up with so and so place, so I'm gonna move to this place because everything's better there. But I keep seeing news articles about how like everything is terrible everywhere, and like crime is up everywhere, and every single place in the Western world is struggling with immigration, and so like I don't know. I don't know what I don't know where to go if I could go anywhere. I don't know. Do you know of any good places to go? Is there anywhere to achieve peace in this world now? And I think even in like the last 6 months or something, things have really gotten worse in just like everywhere. Singapore would be cool. Yeah, supposedly it's a nice place, but don't they have like the death penalty for a bunch of stuff, and like I think there's a fine for like chewing gum or something like that. It's SK, I assume. So South Korea has low cost of living, but it's not a great place to live. Winters are brutal. Or maybe Saskatchewan. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Is there much like technology? Like another big thing that I think more about is like I'd like to go where there are a lot of people who are like similar and compatible and like have similar life goals to what I'm trying to do. And the more I've gotten out recently here in Kitchener, the more I've realized like, this, they talked about it as like the Silicon Valley of the North, but a lot of the business and startup culture that existed here, it doesn't really exist anymore. Tough drug laws with harsh punishments. No importation or sale of chewing gum. Serious penalties for jaywalking and littering. Yeah, I think someone described Singapore as Disneyland with the death penalty. I think that was how they described it. And so it's like, you can have a nice clean society if you have like draconian implementation of laws. And I think that's also kind of concerning, because if you need to be so harsh, it means there's something, like there's a lot of really bad stuff kind of underneath the surface. But I don't know. I mean, it's just too incompatible with. I mean, it's a lot of work to move to a new place and create a totally new social network. I've already done that so many times. Robert, keep an eye on the weather. We had a tornado watch today. I was there was a tornado in AYR that touched down Yeah, I didn't. When I got that tornado warning, I grabbed my camera because I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to see a tornado finally. But I got ripped off. We didn't have any tornadoes. I forgot that I can place blocks. I haven't illustrated that much. Just press the P key. Don't know the tech scene is really. I don't know that the tech scene is really great anywhere in Canada anymore, to be honest. Used to be in Ottawa. Yeah, it's there's also like we've kind of cannibalized the private sector too much. Like there is some private sector, like, you know, startups and tech stuff, but so much of it is just Canada's such an unwelcoming business environment that a lot of businesses, like organic businesses, cannot exist. So the government's like, oh, let's just fund this thing, or let's just throw a bunch of money, you know, into whatever make work program or grant programs or something. And the result is that money ends up crowding out the stuff that actually could like stand on its own. Like the success cases are mostly from the success cases here are mostly just like raise a bunch of money from an investor, and then, you know, eventually just run the company on the ground, pay yourself you know, $150,000 a year to be CEO, run the company to the ground, and then get a soft landing sometime in the future. And then you can say, oh, we got acquired, but, you know, some other company like Google just acquires it as an acqui-hire, and then they shut down the company and destroy all the intellectual property, and it's, you know, nothing of value gets created. Who's the portrait? Let's see. Oh, that one there is that's Kurt Girdle. It's supposed to be Kurt Girdle. I have if you go to store.robertelder.org, you can see you can actually buy a set of 3 portraits. I think you can actually, because I got a message last couple of weeks ago from Stripe that my Stripe account would be like, they said it would be disabled if I didn't like verify my business or something like that. And then like 2 minutes later, they said like, oh, because you didn't verify it, we've disabled your account and you can't accept payments anymore. But then I just logged in and like clicked the button or whatever to verify it. And it wasn't super clear if it was fixed or not. But I guess I'll find out if nobody buys anything from my store for a long time, then I'll conclude that it's broke. Yeah, that's Kurt Girdle, Alan Turing, and the other one's supposed to be Ada Lovelace. But I asked the artist, so those are actually made, they're not AI. I commissioned an artist to make them. It was actually just before the whole AI art thing took off. Yeah, I like the portraits. They're a nice aesthetic. I mean, there's something. It definitely feels more special than an actual human made them, as opposed to an AI. And I guess you kind of grow attached to a piece of artwork after you see it over and over again for a while. I think that's I've only made like a few $100s off my store, but those portraits, I think I've sold like 4 or 5 of them, of the sets. I was thinking I might be able to make this a bit faster in the future. I may kind of, for now, give up on making database writes fast on this computer, because this computer's just not up to the task. And I have another computer that I can probably just because I have the network database interaction that does work. I can probably just make it so it's still doing most of the client stuff on this, and then because I don't have the multiplayer client. I could release that, but I can just, in the database connection parameters in the future, I'll see if I can just allow it to connect to the other database that I have. That'll make it a lot faster. Because the main thing slowing everything down is the database writes. Yeah, I think that'll be a must-have for next stream. It's boring just sitting here waiting for like I'm pressing M. It's not doing anything. Yeah, actually, and now that I have the command line parser, I can add the database as a yeah, for I guess it's gonna have to be single player for now. I like to kind of officially release multiplayer. I'll have to have that'll have to be working a lot more. Then I'll probably also have to have some kind of I don't think it'll be very exciting to have like right now for the server end of the multiplayer, I actually have a Tomcat server set up, so you have to like install and run Tomcat, which it's not quite like for Minecraft. You just run the Java file with -jar, and then that starts the server. But to make something like that, I would actually have to like package Tomcat server itself in the jar, and I looked that up to see if that's a doable thing, and I think it's in like, I don't know, it's not straightforward to do that anyway. I mean, the ideal thing would be like just take everything and have like one jar for single player and multiplayer, and you just like run it differently. But for now, they'll be separate. And for now, the only thing that's released is the single player jar. Yep, that is unusable right now. There's like WAR files, but yeah, right now it's like the server is implemented in a WAR file, and then that gets like loaded by Tomcat and stuff. I've come to I don't know, I looked into it. I think like if I want to not because I think there's a way to get it to work with Tomcat, but I think I'd have to fight the Tomcat framework so much that it would be it would defeat the purpose, and it would like make sense to just write something from scratch. I think it probably would be like within the realm of reason. The way I have it set up right now. So actually, the way that you connect to the server is through WebSockets. So the original vision was it could be like you could have clients from anywhere. So you could have like a command line client, but also I think it would make sense for this to be web accessible as well. So you could have clients that are in the web as well as on the command line. So currently, on even the command line version connects to the server via WebSockets, and to like get Tomcat into the loop, I'd have to implement a parser for like the HTML requests for the upgrade header. So there probably wouldn't be that many. It's probably not like I don't need a full web server and HTTP parser, but I don't know. Then again, all this stuff is like these are so many ideas. I got to focus on things that are, shippable, that are like visual, like the stuff that actually sells. Like in order to, to get more pledges on the thing. Like this is a visible thing, so you can like look at it and, people can understand this, but trying to sell like the fantasy of rewriting some HTML parser just for the fun of it. I know it's not a good sales pitch. But if the main idea can sell more and get more people interested in it, then can finance other stuff like that. So looking at the stats here, so you can see the CPU is 1% used in that, but the 24% is wait time, which is I think that's IO wait. So it's spending. It's kind of interesting. It's not spending. It's still spending 70% idle. I wonder. Maybe that's because it's maybe there's a single core. So there are 4 CPUs in it. Oh, it finished. So anyways, that was 25%. I was speculating maybe the reason it was at 25% is because there's one thread on one CPU that's pegged at 100%. It's spending 100% of its time waiting. I don't know if that checks out, but well, that's probably it for tonight. Did a little bit of bug testing. It's established that my previous bug fix does not work. Next time I will look into just using a local database server on another faster computer, so those writes can be much faster. It's getting annoying just sitting here, and that'll also kind of let me test out other bottlenecks in the client, because I think that if the writes can be faster, like another thing that takes time is the initializing chunks. But yeah, I think database contention is the only thing really slowing it down. That it's like the bottleneck. But yeah, I think I will call it a night. See you guys. I'll try for as long as maybe at least for the Kickstarter to do like a Saturday night and then maybe a Tuesday night stream. But anyway, talk to you Tuesday night, I guess. Later.